Let's take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight. In San Juan, Puerto Rico, as U.S. banking regulators move to clean up the financial mess in Puerto Rico and put the island's ailing economy back on track, another major local lender, First Bank Corp., could emerge as a blimp on the takeover radar. In such a case, Bank of Nova Scotia, Canada's third biggest and most international lender, could turn out to be the perfect suitor, as it already owns a 10% stake in First Bank and is familiar with the bank's operation. A buyout of First Bank could position Scotiabank as a leading force in the island banking industry, second only to Banco Popular Incorporated. First Bank, which lost $275 million in 2009 and a further $107 million in the first quarter of this year, is exploring the possibility of raising about $500 million. Marquee capital analyst said if the financial health of First Bank worsens, Scotia would have the opportunity to participate in an additional consultation. If First Bank fails to raise common equity, Scotiabank could be able to buy out the company at a bargain price. U.S. regulators seized 3 Puerto Rican banks on Friday and sold their deposits to other banks, costing the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC Insurance, $5.3 billion. One of the largest hits from the banking crisis. Marquee Capital said, while the current picture for banking in Puerto Rico is not very pretty, it appears that Scotia is taking the long view and has clearly benefited from the banking sector rationalization in other international markets in which it operates. Port of Spain, Trinidad, will ask the Caribbean community CARICOM to act for the second time as the official observing body for the May 24th general election, Prime Minister Patrick Manning said Monday. We're going to ask CARICOM to send its election observers to this election. We have to be absolutely clear that the election is conducted in a free and fair manner, Manning said during a political walkabout on Monday. We want this certified by an outside body. We're going to request that CARICOM send observers here. There have been numerous calls from the opposition, the UNC Coalition, and other interest groups in the twin island of the Caribbean nation for international observers to be brought to ensure a smooth election. The calls came amidst the concerns of vote padding, perceived manipulated voters of a list of 101 million registered voters in a country with a population of 103 million, the allegations of interference in the official election body and the Election Boundaries Commission was made by the opposition and other bodies. CARICOM observers were in Trinidad and Tobago for the 2007 general election, and the Prime Minister reiterated that the elections were conducted free and fair. But with Manning being one of the most powerful leaders in CARICOM, the case is being made for an international observers, rather than simply regional counterparts. And in Tortola, Sadia Rahat, Senior Program Officer with the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, is spending this with the Department of Disaster Management, undertaking a review of the British Virgin Islands 2009 and 2013 Comprehensive Disaster Management Strategy with the view of identifying the key areas of the CDEMA's coordinating unit can support. Rahat is also designating country support officers from Antigua and Barbuda's sub-region, which includes St. Kitts, Nevis, Montserrat, Anguilla, and the Virgin Islands. The territory will continue to benefit from the activities planned from the next 3 years, which will include the development of the CDM legislation and the regulations to support the Disaster Management Act of 2003, development of the National Monitoring and Evaluation System, and advancing the ICT capability. During her visit to the BVIs, Rahat will accompany the DDM staff to the sister islands to better understand the scope of the territory's disaster management program. Her week-long visit will end on Friday with a presentation from the DDM on the monitoring and evaluation system, which is being examined by the coordinating unit to inform the region monitoring and evaluation process. Rahat will be joined by Acting Deputy Director of CDEMA, Elizabeth Raleigh, to receive this presentation. And a congratulations is in order for Eugene Blanchard, who lives on the island of St. Barths and is now the oldest living person in the world. 114 years old, Eugene Blanchard still enjoys a glass of champagne every now and then, especially on her birthday. Blanchard was born on February 16, 1898, and for the past 20 years, she's been living in Bryan Hospital in St. Barths, and her nephew, Daniel Blanchard, told AFP that the woman, known as La Dolce, still has a zest for life. Because of her age, she's been hospitalized, but she still loves having a glass of champagne, at least on her birthday. France holds the European record for longevity, with an impressive number of centurions, including Jeanette Clement, who lived to be the ripe old age of 122 years, 164 days old. Eugene Blanchard gained the title after Japan's Kama Chinin died on Sunday, just a week short of her 115th birthday. Chinin lived on Okinawa on Japan's far south, a subtropical island whose inhabitants are well known for their robust health into advanced age. Chinin's reign as the oldest living person began on the death of U.S. woman Gertrude Baines, who passed away in September of 2009. So we should all raise a glass to Eugene Blanchard, the oldest living person in the world, residing on St. Bart's. And that's your Caribbean report for tonight. Well, there are some affordable homes on St. John, believe it or not. Let's take a look.
We have 24 beautiful townhome units at Estate Calabash Boom, St. John, priced at $295,000. But don't let that price scare you. We have subsidies available that can bring that cost down to $125,000. So don't hesitate today. Make your dreams come true with the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority. Call 777-4432. We are the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority, building hope, dreams, and homes.
Sports is up next on your Sports 411. Stay with us on Channel 8.